Okay, example 3 says x squared plus 8 equals 2x. And we want to solve this first by factoring, and then we're going to check it by graphing. Now the first thing that we're going to do is put it in standard form. X squared, and then this is going to be actually a minus 2x for both sides. And then plus 8 equals 0. Now let's see if we can factor this. Something times something equals 8, and then something plus something equals a negative 2. Now first for 8, I know 2 times 4 equals 8. And then for negative 2, well, let's say if I have 2 and 4, well, this would be 6. So if I make this a negative, then 2 minus 4, that would be equal to negative 2. But if this one is a negative, then I have to make this one a negative. And suddenly we have a conundrum here. We have 2, and then we have minus 4. Well, that would be a negative 8, not a positive 8. So that's not going to work. And if you keep going through all of the options, there are actually not 2 factors of 8. Okay, so 2 things that multiply to 8, but add to a negative 2, because this one has to be positive, and this one has to be negative, which means that either both of them are negative, say a negative 1 and a negative 1 would add to be a negative 2, but they obviously don't multiply to 8. And so for this one, it cannot be factored. Okay, it's unfactorable. Cannot be factored. So the next thing we would do is check it by graphing. And what you'll notice is when you graph it, okay, now it goes in an upward direction because our a is positive. And then when I graph it, I can actually find the vertex. We could also do negative b over 2a. This is what we did in the previous section. So negative b would be negative 2, okay, over 2. So this would be equal to, what would this be? 2 over 2, which would be 1. So now I know it's going to be symmetric about 1. Okay, and I want to find the other vertex. The vertex here, we plug in 1. So 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 8. So here I have 1 minus 2 plus 8. A negative 1 plus 8 equals a 7. So my vertex is up at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's up at 7, and then it goes in a positive direction. And if you use your graphing calculator, you'll see this. So this means that the equation moves this way. Now, does this parabola ever touch my x-axis? No, it doesn't. And that's why it cannot be factored, or it actually has no solution, no real solution. And that's because it goes in an upward direction and it's got a vertex way up here. Anything that has a vertex above here, above the x-axis, and then goes in an upward direction will fall into this category. So this has no solution. Similarly, if our solution had been, if we had had a vertex down below the x-axis and it was going down, we would also have no solution for that one.